Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Melos Machina. We hope that you have had an incredible week. We are here again to continue our adventures in Jowdek and see what is going on in the collection. But before we get into that, hi, friends.
Hi.
Hello.
How are we all doing today?
Hello.
What's going on?
As you all at home can see, and none of you can hear, we are without our wonderful Andy this evening, but Andy will be with us in spirit and with Chauncey as well. We don't have any announcements other than the continuing sponsor of Melos Machina, Cantrip Candles.
That's right, Scott. Thank you, Cantrip Candles, for continuing to sponsor Melos Machina. Cantrip Candles is a lovely candle maker here in Los Angeles that makes soy-based candles for your TTRPGs. This week, patrons have returned. The gods had their times. The deities shone? But the patrons are back, so you can get Jal, the Lord of Bargains, Ozul, the Sentient Forge, and Mavenon, the Patron of Faces. I think that's what Emmy is getting. They all smell freaking amazing. A great way to just amp up your tabletop role-playing game or life. These are 16-ounce candles. Ooh. They come in a collectible box and beautiful full art on the labels. They are stunning. And if you keep an eye on the socials of Cantrip, there are some things coming down the road that are related to both the deities and the patrons. So please check them out at cantripcandles.com using the link that will be going through chat. That is our affiliate link, so we do get a little bit of a kickback. If you use our code APAC, A-P-A-C-K, you do get a discount on your order. So please go ahead and get those good sniffy sniffs. They're amazing. Again, thank you so much to Cantrip Candles for continuing to sponsor the show. We couldn't do it without you. Go get them. Go get them!
This one is like my favorite of all time.
What are the scent notes, Emmy?
The art or the scent?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
It smells of elderflower embers and amber.
Ooh.
It's so good.
It's
so good. If you need a little Feywild, go for it. Go for it.
Still to this day, I will forever be upset that I didn't think up the name, the Sentient Forge.
it's so mellow.
It's so good.
Oh, man.
Ozul
Cantrip.
is very Melos coated. It's got notes of ozone and camphor, so it's very clean, kind of musky. It's got some marine notes to it. So if you want to smell like hot guy metal, hot metal guy,
Hot metal guy.
get Ozul, the Sentient Forge.
It does smell very like Bogdan's Forge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My candle, why is it going away?
Okay, fine, you can put it away.
Candle.
I mean, that jar and the art is gorgeous. That's the kind of
Yes.
thing you keep after the candles all burned.
Yeah. Put your pencils in it.
All right. Well, I think with that, we have nothing else holding us back. Players,
Play some D&D.
are you ready to get into tonight's episode?
Yeah.
All right. When last we met our adventurers, they had spent their morning in Venture, meeting with Cindy and her friend Ryder at the upper dock, where after a brief conversation, you learned about Ryder's time loading and unloading the Fairbanks and working on other ships, such as the Lockjumper and a new ship that you learned about, the Windsong. However, most of Ryder's information was of things going according to plan. It seems he mostly worked as muscle and didn't have a lot of the more intricate details as to the goings-on, but was able to point out that a new, Sylvie Claverton had arrived recently. With that new information, you headed to the Northern District, where Northern Garden District, where you met up with the Lady Elaine, and had a long, more frank conversation, where you discussed allegiances, thoughts, alignments, the goings on and what might be going on inside her head and potentially inside her journal. You then parted ways with the Lady Elaine as she left you with the message of you should probably go see Lark Calder once again. We now pick back up as you approach the collection, Lark Calder's shop, on the continuing to be repaired and refurbished Bridge District. As you approach.
All right.
So, what's our angle of approach, friends? Obviously, he'll know Finn and I by recognition, but he doesn't know you two yet.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lady Elaine messaged him or whatever, he probably knows we're coming. So he's expecting us. I think we play it as cool and close to the chest as we can, but if there's openings for information, we should get it.
And personally, I think we have dropped the pretense this time. I don't think he bought our cover last time, or at least not mine. And well, you two being interested in his magic items, if he didn't believe us.
Do we not look like the purveyors of magical items?
Well, maybe we look too much the part, so we balance each other out. But
Yeah.
I think ultimately Elaine would not have sent us here if we needed to keep up a guise or a story. She would have filled us in.
Yeah.
You know, for a person who keeps a lot to her chest, she's very honest, but also very guarded. So, this is going to sound odd, but I think if she thought that you needed to like go in and be like, oh no, we're still pretending that we're not asking him questions, that she probably would have said. I don't know.
Probably. That being said,
I don't know how to do these things.
we should see if Cindy's around. Maybe she and Astrid? Not Astrid.
Suddenly the ground
Andy.
grabs out from underneath you.
What? Maybe they can stake out. I don't want another warehouse incident.
No. I also had a thought that might be useful. I have the ability to obfuscate my image today, so if you think there's anybody I could appear as walking in the shop that might be beneficial to...
I hate to say this. This is a guy who has magical items. He's probably got... He'll see through you, I'm assuming.
Didn't you say there was security precautions when you made your uninvited visit that first night?
Oh, only on the items within, on display. Nothing regarding the shop itself.
He might have things on his person. I don't know.
Also, I didn't necessarily see any implements of spellcasting on his person when we were talking last, so whether or not he is simply somebody who utilizes the wares about him is one thing, but his ability to discern or practice magic himself is another conversation.
If only wits would get picked up by the detect magic, but something tells me he isn't going to see right through it either way.
Let's just go in honest.
Yeah, I think you're right, Wati.
I guess, you know.
Forthright.
Yeah, and then, you know, you can sort of ask him, like, hey, why is your voice in a box? You know, in a place that exploded. I don't know. He's the one who has something to hide, not you two. Right?
Well, depends on how much we want to tell him.
I mean, in this moment, though, he's the one who broke the rules, right?
Yes.
So, you know, he's the one that's in trouble, not us. Well,
You're
not
right.
you. And
If we made different choices last time, we would have been the ones who appeared to be breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe... Does that sound okay, Andy? You finding Cindy, maybe? See if she's around here? Keep an eye out?
I think that's probably for the best.
Okay. You said we're like kind of right outside the collection, or
Yeah, you
nearby?
can. You've just passed essentially the section of the bridge that is being repaired, and from there it is.
does the back of his shop butt up against the edge of the bridge?
Yeah, so most of the buildings create the outer section of the bridge. So the back wall, essentially, to the collection opens up and drops directly beneath.
You said it's a 2-story building,
Yes.
and there's windows
Mhm.
on top and bottom. Okay.
As we approach, do we see Cindy nearby? Last I instructed her was to, if she didn't find the other friend who was missing, she was supposed to go stake out the...
Oh yeah.
So as we're approaching, I just want to give a quick scan to see if I see her kind of just hanging out against a railing or against a nearby building.
Sure.
Staking out the place.
Doesn't appear as though you see Cindy around from just a
Dunley.
cursory glance.
Okay. Okay. All right. Do we just walk in? Did you guys knock last time?
No, we just walked in. The store was open.
Great.
So, okay, Andy, why don't you hang outside, keeping an eye for anything suspicious. I still have a few hours left on our telepathic link, so keep that channel open too.
Right, I'll probably just be right over here.
Sure.
As she points towards the same area that you, Aiken and Duathi had been staring out over the water, essentially where the reforming of the bridge has started and some buildings have collapsed. It's a nice little tuckaway that is almost, if there was an alley on the bridge district, it would be the closest thing to it.
Bridge alley. All right. Well, if the building explodes, it was nice working with you.
I'll blame Finn.
What? No, not now.
Come on, Finn. I'll pull us along to the front door.
All right. As you open up the front door, you immediately enter into the collection with its nice polished wooden walls, deep red drapes, and a collection of magical items that are on display both inside the glass case, on a mannequin, or an empty mannequin in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And with the art hanging from the walls, standing behind, you see a gentleman, Lark Calder. Oh, well, good afternoon to you. What can I do for you this day?
Well, hello. Well, thank you for receiving us.
And are all of you entering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you one by one go
Kind
in.
of tailing in
so-
the back, just
Yes.
a little bit.
Ah, well, it's nice to see some familiar faces. Welcome back to the collection. How can I help any of y'all?
Well, that's a great question. You're not busy right now, are you, with anything?
It depends on what you want. No.
Well, information would be wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
if that's possible. I don't know, the Lady Elaine, I believe your acquaintances?
Yeah, I'm familiar. As he looks across all of you, seems to just be looking.
She sent us your way. We realized we missed you at the party, the dinner party the other night.
Ah, so y'all part of the same group, I take it.
Yes, we are.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Is this everybody?
Mostly. One of our associates is out and about. I'm Aiken, by the way. I reach out my hand.
Pleasure, Aiken. Lark Calder, as he takes your hand.
Nice to put a face to the very mysterious name.
I don't think it's all that mysterious, but
Well, when you send Kimordian Ale to a dinner party and you don't show up, it's pretty mysterious, Lark.
I think of it more as a kindness. But I'll take mysterious.
Kind and mysterious, my kind of person.
Can I insight check? Is the flirting working? Is the flattery or?
It's called charisma.
Sure, give me an insight check.
I want on
Party face.
Lark's reaction, not on Aiken, because obviously Aiken's great. That is a 15.
15. It looks as though he's not. It doesn't seem to be flirting at all, but does seem to be both taking the compliment but also brushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a place that we can maybe sit and chat, if you don't mind? We're just trying to pull some kind of confusing information together, and the Lady Elaine seemed to think that you might be able to assist us.
Well, of course. Do you mind me asking just the nature of this?
I mean, it kind of depends on the this, but primarily the shipment traffic on the Conderflow and just in general the flow of goods from upstream and downstream to Riversmeet. There's
I think I understand what you're asking for. Absolutely. If you want to give me just one moment here, as he steps behind the counter, walks up to the front door, and you hear a lock, and closes the curtains over the glass of the front door.
I'll send a message to Andy. He's locked the front door. Just be aware of that.
Okay. If you all wouldn't mind coming upstairs with me.
of course, and the utmost discretion, please.
Of
Tense
course.
times.
Follow me, please. As he turns and heads up the stairs, Aaron, of which you are familiar of. You head upstairs to, looks like a small reception room, maybe a living space. There are a couple of chairs and a table. Aaron, you immediately recognize the space, and he gestures. Would any of you like a seat?
Please,
I'll
don't say
stand,
no.
thanks.
Yeah. I'm not normally used to meeting with so many fine folk as yourself, so a couple of us will have to stand, but
I don't mind standing. It's all right.
And I'll sort of go stand towards the door a little bit, but not like
Mhm.
still part of the conversation, but in such a way that I'm very clearly more listening than I am.
I'll take a seat.
so let's talk about shipping.
Yes.
What sort of interest might you all have in shipping? Are we looking to get into the line of work ourselves, or what exactly are we?
Maybe someday. We're kind of already on a job, but more of the general flow of goods, how it passes through the order or the silver palm, what hands get, I mean, not to make the joke of the silver palm and hands, but when they pass through hands, who knows? What gets tracked? Are there logs? I don't know if you heard about the unfortunate incident down in Riversmeet of the boat that
I unfortunately
Ran
did.
aground.
Yes, the Fairbanks ran into some trouble down there.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of lost cargo,
Mhm.
and well, it just seems like manifests both from the shipping side and the receiving side would be important. And I don't think we quite got the information we needed down in Riversmeet, so I was wondering if the source would help. Was the Fairbanks was this the source of the Fairbanks?
Well, if we're talking moving goods from one place to another, it's the source is where the item comes from. Ships are just a means of getting it there. Now, I want to be very clear with you, my
Yeah.
friend. I ship goods, but I am not in the business of shipping goods. Is that track with you?
That makes sense. You're not the foreman or any of the people that run the docks. I
In
understand that.
the eyes of the Silver Palm, or I'm more of a customer to them. I am a client, somebody who could use their business to make sure trades are overseen, but frankly, I've moved to such a degree where I'm essentially able to hire on ships myself. I say hire on ships, pay them to take goods elsewhere for me, and
course.
have them sent to me.
Of course. That would make sense. We actually recovered, I believe, one of your boxes. I mean, it makes sense. For the overseer, down in River's Meet, he hired us
Oh, did you?
to find whatever had been lost. Turns out, Kymordian Ale. He shared it with us at a lovely dinner. So,
Insight check. How's his face?
How's his face?
how's his face? You can't just ask that about a person.
On the lark.
26.
26.
It's a good face check.
As soon as topic of working for the overseer, Kymordian Ale, he is not taken aback, but he is focused and listening intently.
Okay.
So I guess we have you to thank for 2 tastes of a rare good. So an item like that, would that be brought down to the docks directly by you, or by the Silver Palm?
It'd typically be brought by either myself or a trusted courier.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember that box particularly?
Oh, I do.
Is that the kind of thing that you send to the overseer frequently?
Frequently, no. It's not something that I get in all that often. So when the overseer, when I get something in stock that one of my clients has expressed interest in, I'm able to send it.
Are you a person he works with regularly? It seems like he misses home a lot.
He also had quite a collection of items himself, something that
He
would
does.
rival your shop. So when I
Oh.
walked in the other day, it seemed quite familiar.
I wouldn't say it rivals the shop, but I would say that the shop has it is to blame for most of it. So in many cases, it is a exemplary example of the services that I provide.
This has nothing to do with shipping, but how did you get in to this business?
Well, it's a big old world out there. A lot of really interesting things.
Yeah.
People want interesting things. I found an opportunity in that. I just seem to have a knack for finding them.
Good skill to have.
It is, and when I'm not able to do it, I have good knack for connecting myself with people who do.
Connections are everything in a town like this.
They truly are.
Yeah. The overseer had hired us to find 2 boxes, but we only found the one. We were wondering what the nature of the contents were of the second one. Potentially, if we can get back down there, if we can have a better time finding it.
Well, the 2 boxes were almost identical, but I would say that
Okay.
one of the 2, I'm not sure which one you found. One of them had a bit more ale in it than the other.
We've had, what, there were 5 bottles? I can't remember.
Sounds right.
I think that's what he
So-
said.
Well, I guess some fish are going to be real happy.
When something goes awry with a shipment like this, is this your burden to bear in terms of the cost, or the overseer's?
Well, it doesn't happen all that often. But
Good.
honestly, I kind of see it as it depends on when it happens. And if it happens on the way from here to the ship, well, that's my fault. If it happens from ship to port, well, that's the ship's fault. And if it happens from port to the buyer, that's whoever was in charge of it at that point. So really, it's an unfortunate thing that happened in the shipping of it. And I think probably going to have to bite the bullet on that one.
And say no one was alive on that ship by the time it made it to River's Meet. Whose fault then?
Well, that I rightly have no idea about.
Neither do we.
Do you know if the second box even made it to the Fairbanks that day?
Well, 2 boxes were sent to the Fairbanks, and
Courier or...
no, I took them
Okay, great. So that puts a pin in that.
And was the overseer meant to receive the boxes himself?
That's honestly up to him, how he wants to take care of that.
I see. Have you heard what happened with the Fairbanks? What led to the loss of these precious cargo?
Well, I've only really heard about the end result. The exact details have not been told to me. Word of mouth, rumor sort of thing.
What are the rumors?
Rumors are it crashed into the docks, and well, darker rumors are that there were some monstrosities on board that looked a bit like people.
Would you rather know that those are rumors or not rumors?
What are you trying to say?
There were monstrosities aboard that ship.
That he leans up against the wall.
We were unfortunately, at the docks right when it crashed. I don't even know what to call them, but just these horrible creatures that were mangled representations of whoever or whatever they were before. The whole crew. Gone.
That's unsettling.
And part of the bigger mystery, which is kind of why we're being pretty delicate here. Information like that getting out further is sure to cause panic.
One of our theories is that whoever caused that attack on the crew and the ship was after precious cargo, thieves, or otherwise. And, well, your missing package is one of our few missing links that we'd like to help connect, so...
That sounds like a pretty good idea. I'd like to do that as well. One thing I do want to say. You've asked for discretion. You've asked for regarding delicate topics. Let me be upfront with y'all. What I deal with, high-end goods, sometimes requires a degree of discretion, which I do keep with my clients.
Of course.
You all have purchased from me. You are my clients. My doors are locked, and I keep my secrets.
Understandable.
So, yeah, these monstrosities, these beings, whatever happened that is. It's a danger I feel like we haven't seen out here in a while. At least, we haven't seen up here in Venture anytime lately. As far as connecting dots as to shipments.
Right, did anybody else know what was contained in that cargo, or that you had loaded it specifically onto that ship? Could they have been after you as a target?
Well, if you, talking about the chest with the Primordial nail that packed a bit of a punch, that was myself. I took it to the Fairbanks. I loaded it on. Well, I watched it get loaded on. And it was 2 crates of Primordial ale, logged into their manifest, signed off. And that was that. So it was myself. It was, well, I suppose the quartermaster of the Fairbanks. And, well, my client who was receiving it. And my client's buyer, or front man, I should say. The gentleman who was picking it up for him.
Right. I did find it a bit far-fetched, picturing the overseer making it down to the docks to haul 2 heavy crates.
I'm not sure that man gets much further outside of his estate.
Mm.
Now he just brings the world into him.
Yes.
Do you remember the name of the person? that you were going to be sending it to his front man?
I do.
What was it?
I'd like to refer to my previous notes on discretion.
Fair enough.
Apologies for our previous visit. I'm afraid we weren't very forthright with you. Discretion is the nature of our trade as well, so I hope you understand.
I mean, you were a bundle of excitement.
Well, that was authentic, that's for sure, and I'm still trying to work out how I can afford that, several of those items. But, that was not ultimately what brought us to your shop.
That's interesting. Well, unfortunately, as far as those cases go, I don't think I've got a whole lot more information for you. However, I suppose my question to you is, one case was missing, one case was recovered by you and delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say, were all contents of that case delivered?
The case was delivered.
All right.
Why does that pertain? Why is that important to you at this moment?
Well, it's important to me because I want to get get a gauge on y'all's character. So the case was delivered.
Mm-hmm.
You accusing us of intervening in between discovering an item of the overseers and delivering it to him?
Not accusing, asking. And if that is the case, if everything was delivered, my reason for asking is, it sounds like until that other case is recovered, the job's done. And what I would like to then potentially discuss is more work. Unless you have any more questions for me.
Well, no offense. I mean, the Comordian ale was delicious and all. But if it's at the bottom of a river, it's just lost money, right?
If I'm assuming if it was lost at River's Meet, then the river flows north,
Yes.
and it is lost to the prowling fields. I will take that as lost cargo. It is not worth the life of the people to go get it.
The Overseer said something somewhat similar when he tasked us to find his cargo.
Well, I personally consider the job we took down in River's Meet only half finished, but the half that we did deliver was delivered in full. And, I mean, if we were the type to take from the coffers, so to speak, why wouldn't we just run with the whole batch? We would have made quite a pretty penny, I imagine.
You really would have.
I have to admit, if I had opened, I wouldn't have even known what it was.
Well, and also, I think that if you had run off with any of it, you wouldn't have been asking about trying to afford more of those items in my shop.
Well, I can't imagine you can just offload this to anybody on the streets.
I cannot.
Do you get a lot of customers here?
I get enough.
Sure.
Shop like this, you don't really need to be constantly busy. You just need that one or two customers every so often. That just keeps the world going for you.
An overseer, potentially a lord.
You know, it's about it. Like you said before, it's all about connections.
So which of the two, then, would this work be for?
Overseer or lord?
Right.
This work would be for me.
Oh. In the, sourcing, then?
Well, kind of. The sourcing's been done, but as you might all be unfortunately aware of, is that we are under a bit of a lockdown right now.
Yes. Very aware.
Are you in need of couriers?
Well, a little more dangerous than that.
In what way?
Well, I have a delivery that has arrived, unfortunately, one day too late. And it is currently being held down at the harbor master's dock down at the first lock. The ship's going to be turned around in the morning and sent on its way, and, well, I'm not going to get my package.
Oh, it was a delivery to you.
Mm-hmm. Sourcing's been done. It was just being shipped to me, and more goods for the shop, more things to, you know, keep the currency flowing, so to speak.
I know the gate is closed. Are people not allowed to get down to the lower docks?
Well, you can get down to the docks, but travel in and out is done.
Not just by order of the law. I imagine it's the whole thing just doesn't work without water, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, can't get the locks up. But even then, this was a ship that was coming in from out of town when the lockdown happened, and apparently, for the safety and the making sure that no one's getting out that should be getting out, no one is getting in or out, and that includes people and goods.
I see.
And rather than having them wait down there for however long this blasted thing's going to be lasting, they're just sending them back up to Lockheed.
Oh. So the ship with your package was coming from Lockheed?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if I could just ask frankly, are you asking us to go get it for you, the package?
That's pretty much it. I'm
Okay.
saying you all seem to be capable folks.
I mean, fairly
and-
capable.
Well, you've been, it sounds to me like you've been recommended. And before I ask if you want to do this, I suppose I should be asking if you do think yourselves capable of doing it.
Capable? Certainly. Dumb enough to do it anyway.
Smart enough to get it done right is what I really need.
Right or by the book?
By the book says it doesn't come up, so I think that one's out.
Well, this is where it does get a little touchy, as it is technically breaking curfew or breaking lockdown. Although, frankly, I think in order to be the best time to be doing this would be breaking curfew. But that's that. It is.
It's
You'd
not,
be meeting my connection on the boat, picking up a package, and getting the package to me.
That's not just that, though. Because something tells me if we were to be caught with that package, we'd be breaking more than just curfew.
No, once you get this package, you should be fine. It's
Insight
just
check.
Sure.
13.
But he seems to be forthcoming, whether that means he honestly means it or
Okay.
what that could be.
I respect your professional discretion, of course, but if we're putting our lives and livelihoods at risk to gather this, I very much would like to know what the package contains.
Sure, well, goods that have been collected, a few magical items that I would be putting up here in the shop. It may not look it, but this here right now is kind of low stock for me. And I was really hoping to have a few additional items that I could have people to take a look at.
Anything a bundle of excitement like me might be interested in?
Oh, absolutely. Now,
What wouldn't you be interested in, Finn?
my thoughts exactly.
I mean, the crossbow bolts were cool in principle, but that was more of an errand thing.
Now, I do think, though, that, as you mentioned, putting your life at risk, you're not... if done right, I honestly don't think life should be too much of a risk. If this is something where you get caught, well, it's probably going to be prison time, but I can't imagine they'd kill you on sight. But it's just something I don't feel like risking myself.
Of
And
course not.
compensation would be what?
Well, like you said, there were some things that you were interested in here. I'd be happy to give you either from my stock, happy to give you something, or if you'd like, a combination of gold as well as a discount. Whichever you prefer, but I would be happy to offer you happy to offer 300 gold total for the doing of this. Or like I said, combination of gold and store credit.
Okay.
Compelling offer. Something we should consider.
I'm gonna think to Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
We take the job.
I want to catch him so bad.
This is our one and only shot.
Well, consider me intrigued, personally. I don't know if that kind of payment carries the same weight for the rest of the party, but while we think about it, do you mind if I ask a couple of questions? How you see this tragedy of the town? Why? Who could be behind it? And I don't know. It's seems like something like this doesn't happen every day, even for somebody as traveled as you.
You would be right about that. This is not the sort of thing that I see every day. It's not the sort of thing I'd like to be seeing often at all. But I think you put the nail right on the head there. It is a tragedy. Who had done it, I'm not sure. Why they did it? Well, if the results are anything to go by, I think sowing chaos.
Are you a practitioner of the arcane at all?
Myself?
Yes.
Very little.
Have you any knowledge of what could have caused such destruction to the bridge?
I had an idea on a few things that could have done that. But,
Quick insight check. Just his reaction to he thinks he knows, he doesn't know who would blow it up. Is that forthright?
sure.
Soft 20.
Soft 20. So as far as he thinks he knows.
Like, I'm trying to be like, does he? What I'm trying to discern is if he actually knows who is responsible and really does actually know because he has first-hand knowledge.
He didn't seem to think terribly long as far as the trying to think of somebody.
Okay.
So either he knows immediately or he is so far gone from knowing that it was easy for him to say he doesn't know. But as far as items that could do that, you saw him rack his brain, and now he's coming up with things that he does seem to genuinely know would do something like that.
Like core. Yeah, okay.
It's a lucky break that your shop survived. The blast was close.
Don't I know it?
Yeah,
What could
a lot more
cause-
goods lost to the river.
Yeah. Jeez. Sorry. What could cause explosions of that size? We saw it from the tram.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, the first few things that come to mind are, I mean, during the Age of Arrogance, there was a lot of things that used a lot of power. And that was, we still see that in today. You know, we see that in the rail. We see that in little bits in, well, we see it in everyday use. We see it in the lights of the city. We see it in, hell, we see it in the heart of this city here with the Flow Forge. Well, we saw it with the heart of the Flow Forge.
The old tech.
Exactly.
But to have that much in 3 separate detonation locations.
And that's truly terrifying.
Where? How?
Well, frankly, questions I hadn't even thought to ask.
Where
As
would one get something like that?
I suppose you'd look. Same sort of thing that I do, looking for things.
Can I ask an above table question?
Yeah.
I don't know if this has been given to us. Lark,
Mm-hmm.
human, approximately what age? Like what?
Human seems to be maybe mid to late 30s, maybe 40.
Okay. Not old elf. Okay. Huh.
Are there many folks like you looking around for old bits of power?
Well, there used to be a lot more, but not everyone likes to be as smart about it as I am.
Play ball with the order, you mean?
Well, exactly, yeah. There's people who would go out and just find whatever they could and say, this is mine, and willy-nilly, here we go. And the order would come in and be like, no, that is not. And, well, folks like that would get in trouble for it.
I was gonna say, isn't that heavily regulated?
Very.
What would happen if? I mean, we just saw a couple of deacons this morning. Say if a deacon found somebody with that on them.
I think it would depend on what was found. If you're, well, let's say a deacon found somebody with a pistol. They're probably going to go away for a little bit, probably have some questions, and I would imagine be, well, imprisoned for a little bit of time, maybe heavy fine, depending on if it was what we found it, and or if they were actively using it. That could be something else entirely. But if it was somebody who had something like what could have done all that, well, I'd imagine that person will disappear for a long time.
I imagine
Let me
the
rephrase
person's
that.
laughing in the order's face right now.
Yeah, I would imagine actually they'd just disappear.
The deacons have a way of doing that.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Now, Lark, you seem way more well-traveled than the overseer of Riversmeet.
That does not take much.
No. Where have you been? What have you seen? Sorry, I don't care
Well.
about the magical items so much as I care about the world.
Well, sure. Frankly, I've been all over the frontier. But these days I tend to live here. But I've traveled all over. I've seen Venture. I've seen Nereth Cadril. Have not had the pleasure of going to Mirak Nakta. But I have been to Lockheed. I've been to Riversmeet. Spent a little time in Gladen.
The Prowling Fields?
In my earlier days of wanting to find these things myself, I got maybe a little too close to the Prowling Fields. Never went into them. That was, you know how there are people who are brave and stupid? Well, I am almost brave and not stupid.
Between us, we have a healthy mix of brave and stupid.
Oh, good.
And on our first look to find the cargo, we touched that boundary.
And it is an experience I don't wish on people. But I've had some of my finders tell me they've come back from that. After a while, the pickings in the frontier start to get a little slim.
As you were pushing your boundaries out towards the prowling fields, was there an encounter? Was there a moment where you realized maybe not for you?
Or just a general feeling. As the world gets bigger, there'll be less and less people in it. Now, I feel like I could wax poetic
Sorry.
for the entire afternoon, but at the end of the day, I am a man of business.
Of course.
Right. So, getting a package?
Who would we have to meet?
Well, that would be my my connection onto Quartermaster Dorfier. He's on the Windsong right now, and he knows me. He won't be expecting you. I have not been able to get in contact with him. However, I think that we should be able to work something out.
Of course.
I suppose that's going to be the other thing. He does not know you're coming, and
How, forgive my boldness, how much pull do you have with the local authorities? Like, if they saw you after curfew, would you get in trouble?
I would imagine I would, yeah.
Okay.
It also seems like the local authorities aren't the highest jurisdiction anymore.
No.
That is also the case. Now, I consider myself an upstanding citizen of Venture. Hell, I might even go as far as to say I'm a bit of the lifeblood of the city. I will not say that the city would not survive without me. That would be far too far, and I'd be thinking too highly of myself. But I do have a name for myself.
You have the collection.
Exactly. And I think if I were out after curfew, if I saw a local guard and say, hey, so sorry, I'm just trying to get home, probably get escorted, probably see a fine. If it's any of the guard that they've been bringing in from Saros Manor, I would probably, minimum, see a fine, probably be put away for questioning. And that's just fines I can deal with.
What about those under your employ? Does your name carry any protection there?
Are you,
If we were to get caught, if we told them why we were out and about, is like,
Or are we risking our punitive efforts to save your face?
that's a decent way of putting it. If you would happen to get caught, I would appreciate it if you didn't mention who you were doing it for. Again, it has nothing to do with the contents of the box, but it has everything to do with the content of my character, and that, as I just said, being an upstanding citizen of the town.
It might be doable if the dimensions of what we're currying are concealable. Are you expecting something large, something we can hold within our cloaks, or is this something we're going to have to smuggle in up on a cart?
Nowhere
covered in
near as
blankets?
big as the last thing that I shipped. Nothing like those crates. You should be looking at something about the size of a small jewelry box.
Great. That would fit in any rucksack.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to speak for the group, but everything else is kind of not happening. City's on lockdown. Sounds kind of fun.
We should maybe discuss outside for a moment. There's a few other things to consider that I don't want to jump to any hasty decisions right at the moment. Sun's still up.
I understand that, and like I said, the sun is still up.
Mm-hmm.
The ship goes in the morning, so
Mm-hmm.
we've got that much time. Now, what I will say is things that I can provide you with. If you would like a discreet place to discuss, I will happily step downstairs. I can give you my word. No dropping of any eaves. Aside from that, if you would rather go about the rest of your day, talk of it over amongst yourselves, I understand that as well.
Yeah, give us a moment if you don't mind. I'm sure there might be a few things you can tend to in a moment.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be downstairs. Feel free to come and get me whenever you're ready. Like that, he pushes off against the wall, steps downstairs.
as soon as he leaves the room, I scrounge through my coat pockets for just a regular scrap of parchment and just like begin scrawling my notes as fast as I can before the information leaves the brain. Definitely fidgety, not taking notes with Val during that whole conversation.
So he definitely mentioned the cask of wine with some extra kick.
Yes, I definitely. Mentally, I will say to you. No, I don't have you. Yes, that was definitely noted. I think there is more.
I think he knows
Arriving.
that we know.
Yes. We're on thin ground right now.
You ever considered this job is just a way of disposing of us?
I don't think so. He's an opportunist.
I don't think so either, but
I don't think he's malicious, but he's guarded too, which makes sense. He doesn't know us.
I thought we were coming back with a stronger hand, and yet somehow I still feel like we're the ones getting played here.
Exactly. This is why I think this job is a setup.
I think this might be our only way to garner any good graces with him, and potentially Lady Elaine, and whoever the others are that are in this circle.
Do you think that Lady Elaine wanted us to take this job?
I think she sees our potential. I think she sees how effective we were on the boat.
But this is a job that breaks the rules that you're all supposed to be upholding, right?
Well, I mean, by all accounts, that conversation we had with Lady Elaine was a bit of a rule-breaking topic.
Taboo, at least.
And
Some exceptions can be made if it means that we are putting a larger nefarious effort to a close, I think.
Okay.
I mean, we have to build trust with him somehow if we want to get any further.
I can get on that boat
Yeah.
pretty easily too.
But if we build trust with him now, then we'll betray him later if we turn him over to the deacons for what he's done. And we're no better than Sada.
We don't know that he's done anything.
I mean, aren't we though? Because then, we know he's done a bad thing. And
If he's guilty, it's not betrayal, it's a job. If he's innocent, this is just another job.
I mean, I don't think he is. He knows.
He knows, but did he know what it was going to happen?
I mean, even then, I don't know.
Detect magic.
I was thinking about it.
As detect magic goes up, there is a glow coming from beneath the floor.
Yeah.
You can see the faint outline of many of the items downstairs.
Okay.
As you look
Where's
about,
the spell? There it is.
you do not detect any divination in the room.
No dropping of use.
No
Got it.
dropping of leaves magically that you can discern.
Okay.
That we can decide.
All right. I think we're probably okay. So, isn't just having that bad?
Dwalfi, yes and
Okay.
no. Yes, because the Order deems it so. It is dangerous. It is. You've seen it firsthand. We've potentially seen it firsthand. But it's also what makes Chauncey go. It's what makes the rails go. It's what makes so many of the things that we hold near and dear to our hearts happen.
And it's the only thing keeping the order from going.
But
Yeah.
aren't you all supposed to be stopping him from doing whatever it is he's doing? Isn't that the job?
Look, I am not saying I agree with what these cult members have done, or their philosophy in general, but I'm beginning to notice a pattern out here. The folks that have found a more successful life for themselves in the frontier are the ones who don't break the rules, but are very good at bending them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're just trying to figure out if he's bending a rule instead of.
If the overseer wanted that coal to collect, because that's the man he is, he didn't strike me as a cultist. And he has nothing to gain by their activities, so if anything, it keeps something dangerous out of the hands of dangerous people.
Okay.
Again, I am not condoning any of this.
Okay.
We don't know his motivations or his intentions behind sending any of the stuff that he sent, except for his client requested
So
something.
we want to work with him to figure out if he is a good person or a bad person.
That's why I want to.
Okay.
It will tell us something about how he operates that we couldn't learn otherwise. It will help fill in the gaps.
Okay.
That said, it will also put us at grave risk.
That's one of the things I've learned,
I,
is he's okay with doing that.
I don't want to take this job without knowing what's in the chest if we don't have another name to peg this on.
I can get on that boat, but I'm very scared to break curfew.
Yeah.
Did you ever, you and your siblings, sneak out or do something without your parents knowing?
Of course, all the time.
Wasn't there a bit of a thrill to it?
I mean, my younger brother and I got in trouble all the time doing those kinds of things.
Did you ever get caught?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Grounding is different than prison, Finn.
Yeah.
Right, but I've seen, well, if your bloodline is any like you, well, I certainly never want to be on your bad side again.
I guess we can talk about it later.
Well,
This is this man's office, but
if we do this, we do it together,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't get on the boat so easily as you. But, if you needed to get away, you have a way.
it's true. We can figure it out, but if this is the plan, this is the plan. So
I know he said the best time to do it is after curfew. But we still have daylight if we take the job now.
Why would he?
That's what's hanging me up as well. What is?
Well, it sounds like things are stuck at the docks
He's
and
asking-
not allowed in or out.
But he's asking us to do this specifically under cover of darkness, which means that that this has to be more cool.
I mean, I agree with you, but no matter what, I think getting it under cover of darkness is good, because no matter what, if we go up to that boat and they're like, "Hey, give us a box," they're gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm a deacon, and I don't think you should be taking things out of that box. Go home." I don't know. Do deacons sound like that? I feel like that's how deacons sound.
I think you'd be a shoo-in if you auditioned.
Okay.
I've rarely heard them
Is
speak.
that how it works? No, I know that. Look, I don't feel comfortable with this job, but I don't know what else to do, and we're running out of threads here in the city.
This is
This is it, I think.
this is the trap that we spring on him. If we can confirm that he is receiving call from somewhere else, and then using it and is the middleman to some buyer, then we have him.
And if it's mundane magical items,
then we're none the
then there's
wiser.
nothing illegal there except for breaking curfew and lockdown.
But, just like a, sentimental journal or a case of ale, snuffle, big finder's fee, or whatever it is, trade.
It's going. I mean, if he's trading some of the things in that shop, they're worth a lot of money, right? Like a lot.
And
Like
quite
a lot.
impressive. Regardless, we're not gonna make an omelet unless we break a few eggs, Finn.
Can't believe I'm agreeing with you, Aaron.
We've done nothing but break eggs so far, so that's not what I'm worried about.
I feel like the eggs have broken us, Finn.
Part of me wants to just take the job and then never come back.
Leave?
It feels pretty wild to want so badly to escape the city and then walk right back in the second we're out. Of course, it also feels silly spending my entire life wishing to escape the walls, and now I'm homesick and trapped behind a different set. At least it's something. And we
It's
can't keep
a
paying
lead.
Cindy if we don't take some work.
We need work, sure. But we need more information about this guy and what he does and how he works.
Something just tells me we're not gonna get anything out of him except for the 300 gold.
Which is why, even if that's the case, then we press it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come out forthright and say, this is what we've discovered so far. We know you were involved,
And then
And
we
we-
have 300 gold.
and we'll turn you in unless you lead us to somebody more worthy. This is what we've started, Finn.
Oh, I'm not backing down. I'm just You're a fan of the frontal approach.
Absolutely.
I was considering in that conversation mentioning our suspicions of what happened to Silas. Maybe we still do that before we take the job. Mention we know what happens to the people that do the dirty work. It's a bluff.
Then he'll know we absolutely. I mean, I think he already knows, but then he will definitely know we know.
As I see
So
it,
what? So what if he knows we know? What's the consequence in that?
I just want to make sure
We have the
know.
upper hand here. We have the items.
I agree. It's your job, it's not mine. I just want to make sure that that's been said.
Because then what? We retrieve it from the boats, we deliver it to him, and then we watch to see who he gives it to? And what if he slips us then? What if he dodges us then? We can't keep waiting.
no, we can't.
I say we do this and use it as the exact trap we need to figure this all out.
Okay.
And if it leads to something more, then we go from there. But this is the man I want.
I wouldn't put it past him to try to set us up. But I just don't think Lady Elaine would have. So if this job came with her vote of confidence,
Maybe there's something she wants us to figure out about him on our own. Something she couldn't say.
I think she suspects his nefarious dealings, but doesn't want to be the person to accuse him of it. And from what she gathered from our most recent conversation, we could be the ones to do that. That's why I think she sent us here. To be the ones who can be upfront and personal with him, because we know things that she does not. We've seen things, the result of his work.
Okay.
And we don't have reputations here,
No.
and they both do. We are essentially nobody.
And we're the perfect person to make this happen. So let's do it.
Are you okay with that?
I'm just sort of here. It's your jobs.
But Duafi, it's okay to have an opinion about your well-being.
Of course, but
I know you can get on that boat, but do you want to get on that boat?
oh, if we're talking about that, I just thought we were talking about the accusing him of maybe still. I was just like, oh, you can accuse him of whatever you want. No,
No, I don't care about accusing anybody of anything.
getting on the boat. I don't mind, doing this job and getting on the boat and making the thing and doing. That sounds fun. It's fine. If we do this, I really want to do it in a way that we're very careful
Yeah.
because I really don't want to get caught on the boat.
really don't.
We might not
So-
even have to step foot on the boat. We might be able to work this in a way where everything's brought to us.
The faster we say yes, the more information we can gather about that location. We can talk to Cindy. She and her friends have knowledge of the docks. We have inns there. We have names of other quartermasters and other foremen. We're not completely at a loss here.
No.
We just have to be smart. We
There
need
are,
to plan.
there are only 2 items standing in the way of me and getting on board with this. A decision whether we play the Silas card now or wait, and a discussion with Andy.
Of course.
Because if I'm the one who likes to take risks of this partnership, something tells me she will have similar concerns.
You two. Yes, we need to do this together. But we can do it together separately. If you two need to stay out of sight.
No. I tried that card with Captain Fury. We're in this together.
Then I think we should do it. But let's just let him know that we need to confer and make sure that it's okay.
I know you can make in, but geographically, do I get the vibe that where Andy's perched is like within 100 feet through, not like a foot
Oh,
of
definitely.
stone? I'm going to use the message cantrip and kind of just reach out towards the direction I remember leaving her in, and Andy, well, we didn't get any clear information. We did get some confirmations, and well, there's a job on the table.
She can respond with message, right?
You can respond to this message.
Oh, a job. All right. What kind of job?
The illegal kind,
Oh,
or
yeah.
at least the after dark curfew breaking kind. The pay is good, but the chance to see inside of Locke's operation, potentially priceless.
Okay. And?
And for the first time, I seem to be the most trepidatious of the group.
There's not a response.
I don't know what else to do. It's
We have to do it.
I think we take the job and work out the plan
all right.
tightly.
We're not gonna get another chance like this.
No.
I do want to see if he will divulge a bit more information about the lethality of what we're receiving.
Now that we're actually, why would he tell us that stuff if we were not gonna take the job? You know.
We take the job under the condition he shares what's in that box, just in case we're picked up for it. If he still refuses, only then we play the Silas card.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You want me to bring him back up?
Why don't we head down?
I think
That's a
he'll
smart
probably-
idea.
I mean, he'll probably want to talk to us up here, though, because this is his office. I don't know.
Hey, Lark. He's gonna call down the stairs.
We're finished.
Yeah.
We're finished.
As you hear footsteps coming up the stairs. What are we thinking?
Think you're looking at some new help.
Well, that takes a lot of weight off my shoulders.
And
But-
while we bear that burden, we do need to know what's in that chest. So if we do get picked up for it,
well, I agree. Well, a couple of rings in there. One of them's a little more dangerous than the other. Shouldn't be any danger to you, though. Then there's also going to be 3 spring talons. They're older looking ones, but should still be good. And then there's also a spool of ever-mending thread.
What?
A spool of ever-mending thread.
You know, I have a feeling that does exactly what it sounds like. Okay.
That was what I was told would be there.
Okay. This big box.
Just about.
All right. Quartermaster Dorfier.
Yes, and actually, if y'all wouldn't mind coming over here, as he steps over to the back window and pushes it open, you can hear immediately the outside air, the calling of a couple of seagulls. Well, and he gestures out the window to something that you aren't able to see. So if you approach and walk up,
Yes.
Yeah.
he's pointing down to. You recall when you first came to Venture, the massive doors that open in the cliffside. But right in front of that was a dock with a small, small comparatively to Venture, but a decently sized structure that seemed to either control what Captain Tealston had gestured and called to people working there.
Yeah.
And he's pointing at a single ship that is docked there. There it is. That's the one.
That's the wind song?
That's the wind song. Quartermaster Dorfier. He's a half-orc fella. So, as far as I know, he's the only half-orc on the crew. So that would be the one to talk to. Quartermaster will be fine handing this off. Don't know how the rest of the crew would feel.
Do we need like a note from you?
I was just gonna ask.
It's not a bad call. Let me work something up for you.
Especially
As-
because we may not look like ourselves or be a little bit, not there.
Sure.
And are we to return this to the shop, to your personal residence? What's the plans for once we have it on our persons?
If you wouldn't mind returning it to the shop, the time that you would need to return it, that is completely up to you. Getting it's going to be the tricky part, as far as I can tell. How you do it and how you return it is up to you. As he leaves the window and heads over to a desk, pulls out a scroll of parchment and quill, begins transcribing a note. He folds it up, hands it.
Sure.
All right. If he doesn't believe you for any reason, go ahead and give him that. It's got my signature on it.
Okay.
I've got deeper pockets. I can hold on to that for you.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much it, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
As I'm looking out the window,
Mm-hmm.
so the cliff, lock,
Mhm.
dock,
Mm-hmm.
wind song,
Barrel.
little island with strut.
So the
And
island
then
is
other docks,
far
yeah.
to the north, and it doesn't extend down to where the lock is.
Right.
But it does seem to be fairly evenly across from. Let's see here.
I guess my question is the proximity towards Bogdan's Forge, Dry Dock 2, Soggy Dog area.
Sure, much close. So it's as you look at the dock and look across, it seems to be more in line, maybe a little bit further north than Dry Dock 2. But there's a small opened water area in the lower docks that leads to the dry docks. Bogdan's Forge is nestled in that corner.
Okay.
As far as familiar locations, actually, it's almost perfectly in line with where you think the soggy dog would be.
Okay.
But up against the other wall.
I will think to Aiken, we don't need to break curfew at all. We can retrieve this and just go hang out at Bogdan's Forge for the night. Above table, just for my own clarity, if we were doing this in the daytime, the only thing that would actually break curfew is the physical on and off of the ship. The ship itself is not part of the town and its curfew, right? Because it's an outside
You're not sure.
vessel.
You haven't spent a lot of time at the dock down there.
Mhm.
You can see that the dock, aside from the building and the single dock there, you don't see a stairway. You don't see anything on the cliff that leads to it.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll do our best. If you don't hear from us in a couple of days, we're probably in prison. So,
I sincerely hope that that is not the case.
I hope you have bail money.
That I think I could probably wrangle up for you.
Well, then I suppose it's good to know somebody with a name. Wouldn't be familiar with any of the local godsmen that we might run into, just in case we do need to persuade somebody on our side. Anybody that we might run into making patrol that you're friendly with?
I'm not really on a first name basis with any of the guards of the town.
Just the captains.
Let's say that if you do get picked up and you get your one message, then have it be to me, and I'll figure it out from there. I'll give you my word.
Great. And who? I know we're talking to the quartermaster. Who's the captain of the Windsong these days?
Jesna.
Jesna.
Any advice for getting down and up?
Well, I think the only way down there is through the lock system itself. The entire access to the harbor master or the harbor master's office is is tricky, and that is guarded. So you could try that if you want to do a take a bunch of stairs with a lift, and that would get you down there. But not a lot of visitors are allowed to go down. I would also see going by water, which I know is why I suggested immediately doing it at night, as those waters are currently being patrolled.
Do they patrol them at night? I assume so.
Probably, but I imagine it'd be harder to be seen at night.
I mean, you remember how dark it was when we landed.
You do?
All right. We're a creative bunch. We'll figure out the mode of getting to and fro.
I can think of at least one other way down, but
So can I.
we'd want to do that one at night, I think.
Don't you... Aaron, you give me a heart attack every time you even mention doing that again.
Well, now my interest is piqued.
It's a story from when we're done.
All right.
Let's just say we got caught on that Skytram. Had to make an emergency exit.
Well, Finn, you've ruined my tale.
Oh,
know
but
what?
we didn't tell him how, so...
I think that I am happy that y'all were recommended to me. All right. Well, tell you what. First off, do you think there's any more business for us here, or?
Oh, you've answered the one question I had that was a condition of this employment, but just out of personal curiosity,
Mhm.
the list of items in that box, I mean, doesn't seem irreplaceable, like a 500-year-old Kymordian ale or anything else that you have in the shop, so why the urgency? Why not just let it get turned around? Your trade lines are closed in and out.
Well, the rings are worth a little bit. One of them is easily worth 4 times what I'm paying you for this, and that's the cheaper of the two. And that thread, I've had someone looking for that for a long time.
I see.
And for me, reputation is also just as important. And I'd like to make good on my word. I'd hate for that to be turned away.
The man who can get you anything, even when the city's under lockdown.
Well, no. That's not going to be my reputation. The man who can get you what you would like, and for them, the man that got them the item as soon as lockdown ended.
I see.
That doesn't have the same ring to it as the man that can get you anything.
Doesn't know.
But maybe just like put a period at the end of that instead of during.
Like things that go unsaid.
Mm-hmm.
And them spring talons, I mean, that's always handy to have them. But
Sure.
like I said, they might look a little bit older. If you're familiar with the design, these are, I mean, they are antiques. So
Oh,
they,
Wow.
You don't. I know you've been all over. You don't happen to have like your own personal like map or kind of like collection of how you got to and fro places? I'm very curious.
well, most of it for me was the waterways, and then it was found lots of notes, more so.
Okay. Do you know if there are any maps of the region? I know it's tough these days.
I mean, all the maps that I've been seeing, like I said, it's mostly of the waterways, it's
Yeah.
of the main cities, and it's of the rail line.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a map beyond that, well, so am I.
Well, if we find one.
I will happily take it, buy it from you. If it is something that you would like to keep for yourself, I would completely understand.
I'm sure we can make a copy if we need to.
Easy enough to make a second as it is to make a first.
See, for me, it would certainly be the first that I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Historical value. So if you're simply looking for the information, I would happily get it transcribed and purchase it from you.
Oh, you mean like a map from before the.
Before.
Oh.
That I do.
It's just.
Do you know what the ruins are between here and Clayton? Or were, I guess.
What they... Can't say as I know what they were.
That's the only landmark I have on my mental map, so can't even name that one.
There's a few out there.
I
I
imagine.
think between here and Gladen, honestly, there's 4 if I remember.
Oh.
But I think 2 of them have been scoured clean and probably just forgotten, overgrown. I know I looked over one of them myself. 4th, I don't know if anyone's gone there yet or not. I think I've probably sent some people out to take a look. Came back with nothing. Although I would imagine you probably might know a little bit more about that than me.
How do you mean?
I mean, as he addresses your clothing.
Well, look. This is my first field mission, quite honestly. I'm in over my head. So,
Well, congratulations. And I do not intend to be in a conflict of interest at any point.
no do I. So, in terms of that professional discretion, I think the lower keepers would have some concerns about me moonlighting.
Also, I want to be perfectly clear, the antiques that I am speaking of with them spring talons, nothing that the Adergog does not already have.
Oh, I'm not so worried about some mechanical birds. I'm actually kind of jealous. They're probably the only things traveling in and out of the city right now, freely.
Probably.
If only.
We won't take more of your precious time. Just know, when we're done with this job, I might have another lead for you.
when you are done with this job, I would love to. I'd love to keep this conversation going.
Same.
Well, here, as he makes his way down the stairs.
Go with.
As he turns to lead the way down, I want to pull the note out and see how it is signed
Sure.
and the handwriting.
It reads, Dorfir, friends of mine come to collect my belongings. -L.
L. Yep. Knew it.
Another effort. All right.
Sorry, that's why I took it from you.
Yeah, no, I feel like
Straight
it's
up
totally
evidence.
Fine. Totally chill. Totally chill.
You're like, oh, I'm not wearing gloves.
He has headed to the front door, has unlocked it, pulling back the curtains. Doesn't open the door, but heads back behind the counter. Says, if you are going to be doing this, consider this a lender, as he reaches into the cabinet and pulls out the goggles. Imagine if you were to go about doing this the way that I would. However you want to do this, it's up to you. But I'm thinking something like this might come in handy for being discreet in the evening. I would like these back. Think of it as a sign of, well, I think this should go well.
And like I said, if we were going to disappear with these, the whole chest wouldn't be coming back. So,
That's my thinking.
thank you. These will come in handy.
Real quick, when you examined the boat of mine, you just mentioned that there was a certain word that was uttered in order to activate it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything of that nature with the rings or the talons that we should abstain from uttering in its presence in order to not draw attention to ourselves?
Sure. Not at all. The spring talons, as far as I know, they need some repair. They need some work. So they are they're old and need some love. The thread, you don't need to worry about that. It does sparkle a little bit, so maybe if you are going to peek, you know.
Only to verify that we have the right chest, of course.
Listen,
if we were to.
I would assume no less.
Okay.
The rings, neither of them will go off with just a talking of the word. You're going to need to spend some time with it. But after that, yeah, one of them, I think, is... Well, let me put it this way. If you spend enough time with the rings to have one go off, I'm guessing that you probably gotten it back to me at this point. I don't know how the second one works. I have yet to get my hands on it. I've been told what it does. Or at least in theory.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Great.
But yeah, what I will say is the more swirly of the two rings. Don't connect with it, because that's the one that is going to be a little sparky.
Yep. We will not do that.
Again, not a danger unless you do that. Yes. But again, if you have enough time to do that, I'm hoping that things have probably gone well for you.
Here's hoping.
All right. Well, I guess now we're just stalling.
Yeah, let's... Thank you. And I shake his hand. We'll do our best.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
You didn't trade that boat yet, did you?
Nope.
And as he raises his voice slightly, and thank you so much for visiting the collection. I hope that I get to see you again soon. Have a great day.
Next time I can afford the wares.
Oh.
Out.
Get out.
As you all step out,
immediate eye contact with Andy.
Andy is there, immediate eye contact.
Big eyes.
Why don't we pay a visit to the forge? Maybe.
Bogdan's or Flowforge?
Not the flow forge.
Definitely not the flip forge.
Would it be safe to dock there?
I think
I think a mentally, or I think a plan is hatching, Dorothy.
I just think we should check in on how he is doing, because he is a treasured part of this city.
Mm-hmm. And he's way too self-sufficient to say it, but I bet Zachary is missing Chauncey and would very much like some one-on-one time again.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Maybe even a
Conveniently?
lunch break.
Yeah, do we have everything that we need from home?
I believe so. Yes.
I always keep everything on me. I don't really have many
Yeah.
things.
What is home?
I can't think at you.
So yes.
Great. Maybe we can pick up lunch while we're down there.
Okay.
Yeah, to Bogdan's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to remember. I mean, it's down the bridge.
We know how to get there.
Yeah.
We ran from there up the stairs.
That's why I'm like, do I remember?
As Andy rejoins you, you head down the rest of the bridge. It is a fairly long walk. You are about a little more than halfway over. You get to the large stairwell, your way down, and head on over to Bogdan's.
I think throughout the walk, I'll be just side by side with Andy, filling them in mostly mentally with message, but sometimes like interspersing verbal sentences, and just to get her up to speed with the plan, what was discussed, the concerns, the suspicions, and maybe we leave Chauncey with Zachary again.
As you are describing this to Andy, you can see her eyes just widen and widen and widen and widen.
Yeah, I knew that would be the reaction.
Okay. Eventually you make your way to the forge. You can hear the telltale signs of ting 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 happening in the back.
Little tings or big tings?
These seem forceful.
A hammer's a hammer. I didn't know how to interject. On our way from collection down to forge, I just wanted to keep an eye out for Cindy in case we
Cross paths.
cross paths.
Sure.
It's a long shot, but
You have not seen Cindy.
great. Okay. What is the vibe down here amongst the populace?
What is your passive insight?
Passive insight is 16.
16. Okay. As you have been heading from the bridge to Botkin's, there are still people meandering. More so, there seems to be still work being done, obviously, on the bridge up ahead, or up top, but it looks like there's more folks kind of meandering in the streets than normal. You've heard the conversations that you've been hearing. You aren't picking up specifically on words,
Yeah.
but emotionally, it feels like people are tired. People are tense.
Okay. Once we're like kind of outside the forge, and I don't want us to go in right away. I don't know if there's like a bench or something nearby that's not secluded necessarily, but like not a bunch of eavesdroppers. Dropping from the eaves. Okay. Sorry to be vague. I want to get down here because this is the closest we can get. I don't necessarily want to drop into the lock
Yeah.
to get down. it's gonna be dark,
Mm-hmm.
and that sounds dangerous. And as far as I understand, only a couple of us can do that safely. So,
But our best approach to the ship is by water,
Yeah.
and I think only a couple of us can fit the boat. Is that right?
two of us can
Two
fit in
persons.
the dart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some of us can swim.
I can just get to the boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
As Andy chimes in, what do you mean by that?
Well, I can be invisible and I can kind of sort of.
The thing you did on the bridge?
You weren't there.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't I?
You
You were
weren't
there. You
there.
were
There. Sure.
Do you mind if I...
I mean, I can sort of become part of the air.
Can you become like yourself again and then back to the air?
I mean, that's I can do that, and that's about it. It will be a lot of my magic, but
Well. Then we better not get caught after you're back off the boat.
that's mostly the problem with that is that and it's not like I will be invisible air to look.
Can you just make yourself invisible?
Mhm.
And all other persons?
Oh, okay. I guess I guess I could make myself and another person invisible. Sure. Only one.
Because
So-
I'm wondering, is our efforts more concerning getting to the boat or simply returning?
Well, it depends how long can you do the air...
How long can I
To
be
not
there?
air thing.
I think a
Mhm.
while. It's an hour.
Okay.
So, but I move very slowly because I'm air.
Well,
While
we
I'm
can get you
kind of on the air, it
closer. And then you can...
And is that something you can do during the day?
yeah, but it'll be
Do
a
we
little bit
really
more.
have to do this at night?
It'll be a little bit more visible during the day. You know.
If we risk the visibility, then we don't have to worry about getting caught after.
Exactly.
All we gotta do is get on and off and then go back about our day.
I mean, then if you're comfortable with it, I could go anytime. It's just I don't want to get caught.
Yeah, well, it's only about 600 feet wide. Or was it tall?
Both.
Yeah, wide. Okay. Whew. Starting to understand venture. So, even if we started here, it would take you a few minutes to get across and back. The waters are being patrolled. That's something I was not aware of.
Do they patrol them with magic,
I don't know.
or they just with
Probably.
their
My
eyes?
guess is just their eyes.
Or if not entirely physical, a combination of both, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to be a magical cloud.
Another thought is
Ah.
if the tram is not closed off.
Mm-hmm.
Was the tram closer or further away from the soggy dog than...
Farther away.
Okay. Never mind.
We might also... Sorry, continue.
No.
We have a note from Locke instructing the quartermaster to hand over the goods to us. If someone of authority were to approach this person and, in an official matter, ask for the goods intended, with the note present, someone, say, dressed as a guard, it might be as simple as a one-man job.
But how are you getting onto that boat?
And why is a god picking up deliveries for a shopkeep? It's quite a bluff. It could backfire.
Can you turn other people into dust?
No.
Shoot.
Sorry, above table, I'm confused as to where the boat is. Like,
So
is
the
it,
boat-
why is it hard to get to?
So here's the cliff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The lock is the only way up and down
But
from
aren't
Venture
we
to that.
down?
You remember
We're
when
over here.
when
you're
we
now-
on this
It's
island.
on the opposite side. So you're on the lower docks district, which is on the
Gotcha.
opposite side of the cliff.
and there
yes.
was like a little watchtower, I think, on the side of the door that like they threw the coin passage
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And like, but that wasn't accessible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The
It's
lower
the river,
docks
but
district
it's the
is-
river that's keeping us apart,
Yes.
not necessarily
Yeah.
the height.
Yes, but
Okay.
it's just the river keeping us apart.
So like the docks
Gotcha.
are inbounds in terms of the
Okay.
curvy, but
Yeah.
like
Okay.
The
Sorry,
ship
that
is not.
logistically, I'm like, why isn't this Tetris puzzle working?
it's okay. That's what I was asking about earlier too.
It's
So.
weird.
It's the trigonometry.
Yeah.
The other issue with the god idea, I'm not opposed. I thought about it too, but is well, if it's breaking the curfew to be passing goods on and off of this ship, why would a god be okay
He's been authorized to retrieve a certain package
by Mr. Locke Calder?
by somebody above.
They're
That's the-
looking for anyone and everyone who is suspicious. And you're very well put together, Aaron. But you are not someone that I would call honest looking. I don't want that to come across rude.
And I know you can make yourself look more honest looking. I've seen you do it, but well, I imagine a cloud of gas or dust is harder to catch if somebody were to be suspicious. Unless you'll see like
Well, that's why I'm thinking a combination of certain invisible folk plus disguised folk might be needed. Useful.
I can also only make people invisible, or I can be part of the air. I cannot do both at the
I
same time.
see.
So
It took you a while to become part of the air, too.
it took me about 6 seconds.
Oh,
Oh, that's
that was a
quick.
minute.
No, it's about 6 seconds.
When a bridge is on fire, everything feels longer.
Yeah.
It took
Okay.
longer than that for my trust in Dr. Sada to burn up. That was still pretty quick. The other option, if we want to look at combos, is some kind of distraction.
Yeah.
Draw prying eyes so the river watch away from the ship.
It would be really. I don't want to get caught.
Could also
No.
backfire.
I mean, could be a harmless distraction.
Again, if we're doing this during the day, we're not breaking curfew. And technically, if you're air, you're not a person. So,
You've seen this film, is it
it's unsettling to watch happen. But she blended right in with the ash and the smoke. We're not gonna have that undercover, but like, maybe if it were foggy or, I don't know, it hasn't been foggy this entire time.
It still only allows one person access to the boat. How the rest of us getting there in case there's
I think
sailors are superstitious. Oh, an elf like Dwarfy forming out of gas apparently on their boat might cause them to raise the alarm.
that is true. But look at Duathy.
I agree, yes. But still, sailors are superstitious.
And she'll have the letter.
Yes, that is also that is
She
helpful.
has credentials then.
she'll have a proxy of the letter,
Yeah.
rewritten word perfect, but
Are you keeping the original?
yes, this is a whole case. The entire thing. Remember how we couldn't prove anything with the voice
Yeah.
record?
Good
This is
point.
the only actual thing we have.
Can you copy his handwriting?
I can get damn close. That's worth a shot. If it doesn't, if you don't buy it, we don't have to use it. But I'd
Maybe
rather
you
try.
start working on that ASAP.
Pal, let's start working on that ASAP, and I'll just lay Pal open on the nearest table and let the mage hand and quill go, and just like as many iterations as it takes to get the as
Oh.
close a proxy.
We're on a bench. We're at a bench outside the fort.
Then
Okay.
on the bench. Then
Do you have a forgery kit?
I have my pen and a mage hand.
Okay.
Yep.
When I used to stay past my curfew, I always needed an alibi. We might be able to use Bodkin and Zach for that. If we do get caught or people start asking questions.
What do you have in mind?
Just, we were here, helping. I don't think we necessarily need to do that if we can do it quietly. Dwathi is perfectly suited for this kind of work.
Nothing
You
beats
did say you wanted to go
invisible-
into Silver Palm. This is not the Silver Palm.
No, this was how I was thinking of getting into the Silver Palm, though.
What if this is you considered a practice run?
Well, also, they're going to tell us if there's anything wrong in the Silver Palm, theoretically anyway, but that's
what
true.
you asked us if we were comfortable with you being the one to go on the boat, and in my perspective, it's us that should be asking you. Are you sure you're worth taking all this risk? It's a lot for one person, and
I agree. And if there's another way that, all of us can go, that's nice. Just do me a favor, and if I get caught, don't let me stay there, please.
no, I can't do that.
That's not going to happen, Dwathi.
Okay.
And if it does, we'll break you out.
Oh, we'll call every friend and alibi and all of the tactics. But let's just not get you caught, and if there's anything we can do to up the odds.
I think that distraction's a good idea.
I can make loud noises. I can make fireworks of effect. I can make silent images, but convincingly real, like the dog demonstration for Dr. Sada.
Yeah. Okay.
Aaron, if you want to play God, you could still do that. Come checking up on.
I think it might be all right to have someone cued into their conversations.
And if I do get into any trouble, if you're a guard, you could always,
Cart the ruffian away.
Sorry, another thought of mine. Yes, personal escort right to the deacons.
It sounds so much better when you say it than when I propose that to Captain Fury.
Yeah, you were doing something different that day.
Yeah, no, I see that now.
Water under the broken bridge. Okay. Let's figure out a solid plan. Let's actually check in on Bogdan. I do also care about him. That's not a lie.
see if you'll let us stay here tonight, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and once we've retrieved the item, we don't
We
need
stay
to.
down here.
Yeah, until morning.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
I don't understand Locke's insistence upon breaking curfew, but if this can happen discreetly.
I understand if
Towards
all of us
sunset.
were going to try
Mhm.
to go. Yeah. We're going to need that.
Dorothy, can you send a bird and do the plan?
Oh.
Because if we gave our quartermaster Dorfier the heads up, he can make it quick for you.
I suppose that's true. Did I prepare that? I did. That's right, I did, because I was going to send the bird. Yes, I can. Especially because I can do that ritually. Yes, if you give me about,
This is great.
Yeah.
We say an envoy will approach via sky, air,
the bird, it's a plane.
at X time. You show up. Hello. And hand the note.
Okay.
Get box. Come back.
Would the bird let you tie a message to it?
It depends on how nice I am to the bird.
Well, you seem like a very nice to bird person.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen you be nice to birds so far.
I will be very nice to the bird. I think it has to be a bird. So
I'm just
it's,
you know,
yeah,
if
nice.
I was just a random quartermaster about to be sent back on this long leg of a journey, and a random bird told me to trust this stranger with the note. I probably wouldn't do that.
That's
But if
fair.
the bird was holding the note,
Okay, so this is gonna take about 20 minutes, and we maybe want to do this in the forge because first
Yes.
I have to talk to the bird, and then I have to
Mm-hmm.
try and get the bird to spend about 10 minutes explaining to the bird what we wanted to do. So it's gonna take a bit of time.
We have time.
Okay.
The other thing,
Exactly
I know
how
you can
birds
make images. I can also talk to birds, not the same way that, well, similar,
It's the exact
but
same way you can
but
make the
I
birds.
can't make them say things. I just talk to them.
Yeah.
what if you don't have truth?
I
A
don't want-
bird. What is a bird? What kind of truth do I need from a bird? That they like bread? No, I'm thinking if I'm like, hey, seagull, do you see that guard ship over there? Maybe poop on him a lot.
I see.
Oh, for the
Sorry,
distraction.
that's about as
For the distraction.
high level thinking as I got. For a distraction.
Probably more effectual than any distraction I can make, because mine don't poop.
Here we are again.
Good company, though. Point at Johnson.
But I mean, I'd have to ask them and like persuade them.
That I think
But-
that sounds. You have also always been nice to birds. So if
I
you
love
were
birds.
very nice to the bird and asked them to, eat a lot and then poop a lot, and then there was something on fire, and then there was a guard walking around, and I don't know. This is too
We
much
don't need to
distraction.
set any fires.
Not a D&D game unless it comes back to poop.
Listen.
Bird poop.
Or birds, you know.
Harassing.
Seagulls are mean.
Just harassing the local guards.
Sorry.
So
Okay.
we have a weird sort of a plan.
We have something. We have the start. I think it's worth taking a little bit of time and just thinking it over, hashing it out,
Yeah.
every single angle.
Well, parts of this plan could use some extra help from Bogdan and Zachary, so
Yep.
we should probably make sure they're on board.
Yeah. And maybe we can bribe some folks at Dry Dock too if we need to start something. I don't know.
I don't know
But
if anyone's
I don't
going
think
to
we
want
need
to do
to.
that.
No.
I don't want to get anyone else into trouble.
This also seems like the place that everyone just turns a blind eye to in general. So it'd have to spill out.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah. I
You are
don't-
the champion, though.
That felt. I didn't like that. I did win though. We should check in on Bogdan.
All right.
Actually, now I feel bad because he was probably spent, and then I've made it worse, and I didn't even think about that until now. Okay, let's plan. Let's sit,
plan,
think,
sit.
talk to birds.
Two birds.
Wouldn't mind studying my spellbook again. I need to refresh up on something.
Yeah.
There is one other idea I have to help that would be far more effective than a distraction, or at least some extra security for you. But I'd need to spend the rest of the day doing some tests and making sure it works, and
Okay.
I think it would require nighttime. But Pal could help keep an eye out.
Okay.
Most birds can't see at night. Oh, but bird can go day.
Bird goes now.
You
Yeah.
go night.
Uh-huh.
Again, let's
Yes.
formulate.
Let's
on
hash
that.
out the details.
Okay.
I know we're gonna keep asking you. Good.
I'm okay. I just really don't want to get caught, you know? So, that's all.
We're gonna do everything that we can. Planning. And you won't get caught.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll not go knock on Bogdan's door.
Yeah.
All right. And Finn, I'll say, as you've been here, as the conversation has continued, an attempt of making a forgery would take more attention than you've been able to both have a conversation and you'd have to sit down and devote time to it. It is something that you can try, but your mage hand isn't able to do something like that mid-conversation while you are still having a conversation.
ChatGPT, why? That's fine. Thank you.
As you knock on Bogdan's door, there is a moment of... There's just a minute! You hear metal hitting a table. As walking up to the door, it opens. And you see a much, still tired, but much more rested Zachary.
Hello.
Hello!
Good afternoon. Mind if we come in?
Sure, yeah, please. Sorry, I didn't think I'd be seeing much of you at all, and now it's just...
It was a surprise.
Boy. Yeah, no, come in. As he gestures you all in. What can I do? It closes the door. Hi, welcome. Still busy.
Good. No, we were in the area. Just needed to rest our feet for a moment, and we thought we'd come see some friendly faces. So don't let us get in your way.
Sure, yeah. Well, hi, it's lovely to see you all. Hey, buddy, as he looks down at Chauncey.
I told you he was missing Chauncey.
I
Chauncey
mean,
was missing you too, we could tell.
Aw.
All of us.
But, yeah, no, just doing a lot of, getting a lot of work done. Now with the both of us back up and going, it's going a lot
good.
smoother. Yeah, no, he's still... Don't tell him I told you this, but he's moving a little slow. But he's going, and boy, he is a machine.
I hope he's in a...
Sorry, that was insensitive. No, he is,
He's very good at what he does.
yeah,
He just keeps going. He's got stamina.
yeah. Don't tell him I said that either.
Just work on that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine.
I'm gonna,
Don't let us bother you.
sure, I'm gonna let him know you're here. If you, yeah, kick back, relax. It's gonna be noisy, I'm sorry.
That's fine,
Actually
actually.
preferred.
We may need to spend the night down here if we're here past curfew. If that is okay, we can sleep on the floor. It's totally fine.
Well, that's...
But we'll need to talk to him.
Yeah, that is not up to
you.
me.
I know. It would be a huge favor of us, and we don't want to impose, but you would be doing us, both of you would be doing us a huge favor.
Sure, I mean, I could ask.
The less you know, the better.
Oh, great. Okay.
I did have a question, though. Did he offer you the job yet?
Oh, that has not come up. We've just been working.
I've been
think it's
working for 3 days straight.
Safe to assume that you have the job, then.
I didn't want to say anything, but look, I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to do the best that I can,
I
the
think
most
s-
that I can. Frankly, I don't think about it that often. I just do the work.
That's a great way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Bye. Bogdan! As he heads outside.
They grow up so fast.
Yeah, he looks taller.
Stronger. More confident?
In the couple of days, his muscles have, like, his...
Pump.
It's just like
It,
veins.
his shirt sleeves have gotten tight.
God, I bet he's like dirty too.
It's nice to, see him be able to do the things that he was wanting to do,
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice, also to know there's not an ounce of lie in anything he says. It's comforting these days.
We should send word back to his mother at some point. I know he will, but I have a feeling that word from somebody else might go a little further.
Yeah. I think I have a lot more than 25 words to say to commend the boy, so.
As he comes back in. Okay, so Bogdan says hi. He's out back working. He's in his groove. Basically, the gist of it is, sure, just stay out of the way.
Noted.
Easy enough.
I'm very good at being out of the way.
Yeah. It's gonna be loud. Like I'm getting used to it, but like we've been working just constantly.
And that's a good thing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding the city.
And we won't be here the whole time, just
Oh, okay. Right.
maybe more towards
You don't need to
curfew.
tell me. I get it.
I just kind of need to use this as a little home base for a bit.
Okay, so you won't. Well,
we'll
maybe
go
not
in.
actually be sleeping. Again, I don't need to know. But if you do end up sleeping, it's gonna be loud. If that works for you, that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And thank him. Don't bother him. With
I won't. I will pass on the thanks. But no, yeah, of course, anything. You know what? I want to catch up, but I feel like I shouldn't ask it. I'm gonna get back to work.
Yeah, what? I mean,
We'll catch up tonight.
you did work for 2 days straight while the boss slept, just saying.
That is true, and
If you wanted to take a break, I
it's
think
alright.
it'd be okay.
I got a break this morning. My second break is coming up. We kind of have like an overlapping shift thing
Very
going
smart.
on.
Don't let me
Yeah,
interrupt. then.
it's a lot of. We're having to build a lot. It's, he made the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
and now that's what I. Anyway,
You're part of history. You're helping rebuild Venture.
yes, I am.
Now get back to work.
Yes, sir. That was weird. Yes. I see.
I jokingly just nudge him.
He heads back out into the back.
No.
Good.
Sorry, I'm just kind of in my head again. How wide is the river from like the lock to the docks?
The lock to the
It was a few
docks.
100 feet, right?
It's roughly also 600.
600.
You know what? Let me go do math,
Mhm.
actually.
Mhm.
Really.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm trying to think about your
quick.
form and you getting there and back.
Go do that math.
Yeah.
600. Well, I'm gonna have to cast it twice, no matter what, because I'm gonna have to. I can't talk.
Can't you swim? You can't beast shape and swim?
I could.
I don't know. What level are
Yeah,
we?
but then I'm gonna have to get up out of the boat.
You have
Okay.
so many
Then
ways
I'd
to
have
sneak
get
into
up.
places.
I know. I was not the intent when I designed this character, and I'm discovering lots of that. I can swim.
So I could swim, but then I would have to get out of the water onto the boat without raising suspicion. And so
Boats
that,
have-
but if I need to do that, I certainly can.
Well, and that could be in the message to the quartermaster.
Yeah.
Like, if you could have a rope ladder strung down on the eastern side of the ship at approximately sundown, or just after sundown.
Either way, but,
Could he lower the chest down towards the water, or at least closer, so then you
Probably.
don't even need to board?
so I can go 10 feet every 6 seconds.
The train leaves Chicago.
So
The train leaves Venture. There are no trains.
360
There
There are no trains in
seconds.
Venture.
360 seconds?
It's 100 feet per minute. Then.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can do it. That's
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah.
So then,
But that's for the gaseous form.
that yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's to become part of the hour. I could sort of become a fish and then become
Or you-
air.
Air there, fish back.
Either way, yeah.
Or invisible.
Well, invisible, then
Then you have to swim.
then I have to swim, and I would really rather be a fish.
That's it is a long swim.
Uh,
And a ghost boat probably is just as suspicious as a human piloted
More.
boat.
More so.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
yeah, I definitely should not use the little boat. As cool as the little boat is, I think that the little boat is a really good way for me to get caught. But yes, I could swim. I could become the air. Got some options.
Yeah.
This seems solid. What else are we concerned about?
Birds saying yes.
And on that note,
Emergency
I'm going
plan
to
if-
go sit in the corner and start. I'm going to just sit with my staff across my lap and start
concentrating a little bit and muttering a little under my breath as I start to ritually cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
So it's gonna take about 10 minutes.
And how long does that one last?
It takes 10 minutes to cast and it'll last 10 minutes.
Okay.
So while I'm doing that, I'd also like to start keeping an eye open. Can I go towards, actually before I sit down and start doing this, is there like a back door to like a yard?
The only back door leads to the forge outside, where as you peek out back, you can see he is hard at work on a large sheet of metal.
Probably not a place small animals are gonna go hang out. So, outside nearby here, is there? I know we were on a bench thing. Is there anywhere nearby where there's like just like a ye olde picnic spot?
There's the bench outside. You are surrounded by streets. You are in a pretty urban environment right now.
Okay. Do I see any birds? Like as I go outside.
With
if I
an
go outside the
immediate
building.
glance, looking around, you don't see any birds in the sky.
I'll go with you to the river edge if you want to
Give-
find some birds.
Sure. What were you gonna say?
Oh, never mind.
No, it's okay. It's
No.
fine. Oh, okay. Whatever. Sure, we could do that too. I'll just need to hang out there for a bit.
It's fine.
If not, worst case scenario, I can sort of, make a bird, but it won't be the same. It'll kind of be a pain. We don't want to do that. So let's try and find the bird. Okay,
We'll go bird watching.
we'll go bird watching. We're gonna go bird watching.
I'm going to get some writing done. Someone else's this time. But
Okay.
is the desk where all the paperwork organizing that I did available? Or,
It is.
So yeah, I think rather than doing science with Pal, we're gonna do forgery with Pal,
Okay.
or try anyway. Yeah. I think with my attention, it would be more of like the group where like the mage hand and like Pal's memory are definitely a big factor here, but then it's like me critiquing, doing markup to circle all of the differences until it's as close as possible.
Now, there are a lot of tools needed for this besides just a pen and paper.
Yeah, does cartography tools help me at all?
There is specifically Forgerer's Kit.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a dexterity check. And this is going to be your whole time working on this. Because you do not have a kit, this is going to be a disadvantage.
I would ask Andy if she happened to have the kit or the ability to make it before going further, but
Sure.
I also don't know how to use a forgery kit necessarily, so just a straight dexterity.
Well, yes, dexterity at disadvantage. And Andy does say, well, I could make you one, but I'd need time to do it. And
No, time is of the essence. That's right. Oh, it's bad. At this hand, it's a 2 and a 3 plus 2 is a 4.
Oh boy.
copying the handwriting it is so very different for you, and the handwriting that you put in your journal, even though you write so much, you are now so well trained at your writing.
Right.
And trying to copy this, it's almost like trying to trace a picture, but without the tracing. And you can get good-looking handwriting, but the more you try and make it look exactly like his, the more just it becomes wavy and squiggly and looks...
Kind of like how Pal's face shifts.
It looks like the handwriting of someone who
Just
was
trying to-
relearning how to
yeah,
how to
yeah.
write.
Finn, I know it's important to retain evidence, but this might not even be this might not even be needed to retrieve what we're after. I think you're safe enough to send it with Dorothy and have it returned to you by the end of this.
If that's our only choice, it's our only choice. But
I'd rather send the original and trust that we'll get it back, and insist that we get it back, than risk tipping him off and not retrieving it at all.
No, you're right. You're right.
Are you, forgive me, anticipating all possibilities here, are you able to look further into the contents of this jewelry box once we have it?
Yeah, the thought crossed my mind, at least. I am curious what these rings are. Although,
Not just the rings, but anything that might be hidden from view.
right.
More crackerjacks.
That was, that compartment in the last one. That was a pretty spiffy hiding spot.
Are
But,
you able to... Not able to see within the box?
Depends on if it's, the box like ours or just a box. Something tells me it'll be a fancy box.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems okay with us peeking inside, so... Something tells me there's no hidden compartment in this one, and he is being forthright, at least with the itemization of the contents.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely down to double check.
I think we should.
And if we're spending the night here, that's plenty of time to look further.
Precisely.
Fian, I think that if you wouldn't mind giving me just an hour,
Oh,
I should be able to do that for you.
By all means, why didn't you say so earlier?
I was trying to think of the tools that I would need.
Oh, you can make them that fast.
I'll need time, like, to myself to do it, but yeah.
The pen is a mighty tool, but it's only one tool, so by all means.
All right, I'll get started on that.
Please don't make us give away our only evidence.
So with that, Andy is going to start an hour-long job of crafting you a set of forgery tools.
Can I, kind of point out the imperfections in my version that I was, trying to, all of the markup that I highlighted, if it's helpful?
If you try to come over, she's like, nope, I've got this.
All right.
While that's happening, I will start Arcane Recovery and just kind of flip through my spell book and get a second level spell
Sure.
back.
Yeah, for those of you who are starting an hour at,
A short rest.
you can get a short rest.
Cool.
You too.
Cool.
As you head outside, did you want to head towards docks or the bridge?
Which way is closer towards the Windsong?
Windsong.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. At this point, anything on this side is going to be
Great.
roughly equidistant.
Well, let's go towards the docks.
Okay.
That's where I would assume if people are fishing and
Probably more
Yeah.
birds. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
It takes you just over a couple of bridges by the time that you're able to actually get to the waterfront. And you can see a large pier area that sort of encompasses the man-made bay that leads to the dry docks. From here, you can't fully see the docks themselves. This seems to be more of a space made for specifically the dry dock. But looking about, you do see some birds that are resting on pillars of the pier.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Great. I'll keep watch.
Okay, sure. And then I'm going to spend 10 minutes I'll settle down by the riverfront, stick. And
As you take 10 minutes, watching over Duathi and looking about, you don't see a lot of action happening at the docks themselves, or at least this little bay area. However, at the opening, the far end of this seems to be sort of a artificial breakwater that has a walkway on it. And you do see a person standing at either edge of the opening.
based off of their stance and positioning. Also, I have eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they close enough to see any details? Like, are these guards or deacons or?
Not enough to see any details, but as you watch, it does look as though one paces a little bit. Looks like they're holding a crossbow.
Okay. I'm like right close near Dwathi, so if anything were to happen, I'm right there. But I'm going to.
It's probably about 200 feet away.
Oh.
They're a ways away.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of watch the pattern for the 10, 11, whatever
It's
minutes.
10 minutes and 6
Um,
seconds.
And just see like how often do they do that? Are they like, or are they like
Sure.
how attentive are they to the waterway?
It looks like it's a bit of a mix. They're not doing a full patrol.
Okay.
They're not doing the whole breakwater, but they are stationed at the opening where a boat could potentially come in and out of.
Focused more on the water than up.
Looks like. But it does look a little. You gauge that. Give me an insight check.
Yes. No, not that dice. Oh, that was probably a mistake. 22.
22.
Hey!
These guards, they look as though the walking that's happening, because it's not doing a full patrol, it looks like restlessness.
Mood.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
10 minutes going by. Speak with animal is
No.
activated.
Speak with animals. Okay, going to go sort of quickly. I'm going to take a little bit of the dried meat out of my pocket and sort of look at the birds that are over on the pillar over there and wave it up in the air and go, "Hello, birds!"
As you hear that, there is about 3 seagulls that you just hear in the distance. Fruit, 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 fruit,
Oh,
as they come flying over to you.
Oh, hello!
Fruit, 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 fruit.
Is there any way I could get one of you to do me a favor?
As they are swarming about, one of them just stops like, talk?
Hello,
Hello?
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Do you have more food?
I do.
Good.
However, I would ask that you do something for me before I give you more food. But if you do that thing for me, I will give you much more food.
Oh, listening, food?
Food? Yeah, okay, great. I love a person with a purpose. Okay, so what we're going to do here today, if it's all right, do you have any paper? Like a little bit of paper?
As you hear the other 2 that are now fighting over the food that you
Yeah.
have left. It's like, give it back. No, mine. Give it, mine. Food.
Here. I'll break off with like 2 more pieces so everybody gets a piece.
As you chuck it, it's like, oh, yep, food, food, food.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm
And
gonna
the one that is talking to you is just, oh, no.
No, I have manacles. Super helpful.
You know what? That's okay.
I don't write
I've
much.
got this. It's all good. So, I would ask you. I'm going to cast some magic. I don't think you know what that means, but it's how I'm able to talk to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to go to the boat over. I'll point to the wind song over there.
As it cocks its head over. Like, yep.
And
Yep.
I'm going to ask you to look for a tall man.
Oh, we should have gotten more of a description than
Half orc. Only half orc.
There's going to be one person who looks nothing like the other people on board. He's going to be taller, probably, and a little bit bigger, maybe. And probably have greener or bluer, grayer skin.
Fine. Cool. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to cast some magic so you can talk in my voice, okay?
Oh.
I know. So you'll be able to speak in my way a little bit. And then,
As you were
he's-
talking, give me an animal handling check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast speak with animals, not ritually, just so I can understand. I'm like, I'm just like, huh?
Just squawking.
Would Dwathi sound like squawking like a seagull, or is
Dwathi
it
is talking
English,
normal.
or like common?
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
12.
12. Okay.
Cool.
As he just.
And then he's going to tie something to your foot,
Mhm.
and then you can bring it back to me. How
Mhm.
does that sound?
Then you give me more food?
I will give you so much more food.
So much more food.
Uh-huh.
I'll do it for food.
Yay! Okay. And then around that time, I'm going to, if he's agreed, I'm going to start ritually casting Animal Messenger.
Okay.
And if you stay here for about 10 more minutes, I'm going to give you some more food again. How does that sound?
I'd appreciate more food now.
Yeah, absolutely. But then can you wait 10 minutes?
That's a lot of time. Would you feed me while I wait?
Mhm.
Good.
Okay.
I'm going to take out one of my rations and just very slowly break off some pieces and then put it back in my pocket fairly instantly.
As soon as you break off a piece, 10 minutes is a lot of time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly keep breaking some pieces.
You can just leave that out.
Will you stay 10 minutes if I leave it out?
I will.
Insight check.
I legit almost like was Zone of Truth a freaking seagull.
Do
We
not
were just
spend a
saying
spell
you
slot
need Zone
on
of
this
Truth a
darn
bird,
gull.
And here's the reason why you asked if you need Zone of Truth on a bird.
Give me an insight check.
Okay,
Yep.
that
I'm-
one
I'm
betrayed me.
Trying to
last
think of
time.
any other situation where you need an inside check on a seagull. This
16.
might be a D&D
16.
first.
Yeah, he will do anything for food, but his attention span is very short. It looks
Okay.
like you're probably gonna have to feed him the whole 10 minutes, and that is a lot of time.
Yeah. I'm going to. I'll break off half of it and crumble it
As he-
into lots of pieces. All right. Still growing.
And you start.
Yep.
Tearing off a piece of meat and crumbling it 30 seconds in, and it's mostly gone.
Here, I'm gonna hand 3
yeah.
to bacon.
Sure.
Hey, can you do that?
So come here often?
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
So you're friends.
Mhm.
Are you friends? I was rude of me
No.
to assume all the other seagulls.
No, they took my food.
Rude.
Mhm.
So rude.
Yeah,
Oh my
dicks.
gosh. Seriously.
Mhm.
Gosh.
You stop feeding me.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I'll just like let him eat out of my hand too.
Yeah, as he's. And actually, as it is, if you were feeding him directly from the hand,
Yeah.
you'll see he's actually having a harder time eating the chunks of meat.
Oh,
And it is taking longer.
great. Oh, great. Great. Oh, I feel bad, but also good.
What?
I didn't say that out loud, but the audience needs to hear it. My friend here
Mhm.
is honest. She will give you more food once you're done. And
Fantastic.
honestly, coolest person I know. So,
So
you
far,
know.
second person I know. Third.
You can count.
Yeah, literally.
I'm impressed.
Probably to about 3.
Just
Yeah, you
here
were
comes the sky tram.
10 minutes go by.
Oh
I
my
need to start
god.
writing this. Hold on.
Frankly, let's call that a day's supply of rations are gone.
Oh.
It's 10 minutes
Oh my
of
god.
feeding this
Generous.
seagull.
Yeah.
That's fine.
When do we get create food and
Uh,
water?
The other two at some point try and like, oh. And at one point, back off. And
Are those the dicks?
yep.
Oh my
Would
god.
you do me a favor?
What?
Kill them. As he just keeps eating.
Wrong campaign, buddy.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Um,
great.
10 minutes happen.
Give me a second. I'm trying to get 25 words. It's also 25 words, as it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna kill them, but I'm gonna be like, you need to be nicer to him, okay? And then I'll throw a full, like one of my full rations.
As they just, food! And they're like,
Alright.
this is now the second time I've voiced a seagull
Yep.
at a table.
My favorite.
I was there for both of them. I don't think we had to roll an insight check on the
Nope.
last one.
No. There is a part of it's like, you know seagulls personally.
I have been wronged by these birds multiple times.
Kill them.
Kill them.
Tell us how you really feel.
Had a full steak taken off of a grill. Mm-hmm.
Like, good for that seagull.
He did drop it in the water.
Of course.
Seagull.
Of course.
It was like, actually, I just didn't want you to have it.
Yeah.
Right. Dry tack rations feel like more appropriate for
Yeah.
a seagull to eat.
Yeah. Oh my word.
I was like, do I have rations in case they have to come inside and get more?
I just hate those moments when you're at the beach and you see somebody's like towels and like food site just getting absolutely bombarded. You're just like, well, you left it unattended. I don't see anybody running around, so.
Also, my Wyatt is showing here, but my new working title for the episode is Quid Pro Goal.
Boo, boo.
It's pretty good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
I was gonna say it is up to 25.
Yeah,
It
Yes,
doesn't
I
have
know,
to
but
be-
I need it to be 25. This is complex.
Okay,
Alright.
are
As-
you ready?
Yep.
Okay, you're doing so great.
I am
First,
so full. I've never had this feeling before.
A tiny beast of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a saving throw, or it attempts to deliver a message for you. So apparently,
Oh,
it needs to
gosh.
succeed on a saving. It needs to fail this saving throw.
What is your DC?
Oh,
Based on
that's
Scott's
such a
reaction
great
on the last
question.
roll it made, it's a good
Um,
chance.
Also, this seagull is very charismatic, so I don't know.
It is a 16, and maybe he rolls a disadvantage because we're friends now.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a good try. It was a good try.
We're such good buds.
Such good buds.
We're a means to an end.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's a
we're
very
buds.
transactional
Let it be buds.
relationship.
And all of you are naysayers. You're just naying
I
my
mean-
say.
You've seen how he treats his other buds, so
it just says a saving throw. It doesn't say like
It says a
wisdom
charisma.
or a charisma saving throw.
Please be uncharismatic, bird.
So that is a 0.
Yes!
good.
Entranced. Yes.
Buddy.
He's, and he just shuts down as he just looks at you.
Okay. My name, Duati.
As you speak his mouth.
I'm working for Lark. I will come to boat tonight to get his box. Send note back with bird. I'm gray elf.
Okay. Okay.
With
As
the
you
question
finish, the bird then closes its beak, and flies away.
Okay.
Wait.
That is so unsettlingly cool.
Yeah. It's cool every time we do it. So.
Just a voice recorder.
Basically, right?
As you watch the bird,
It's going to be a couple of minutes.
Are the other two seagulls here?
they have chased off the other
Great.
three. And
Great. That's fine. For now.
Are you doing okay, Icon?
Yeah. I feel like we're all a little bit in over our heads right now, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like I have some purpose.
That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, my original purpose after meeting you is to get you home, but this feels so much bigger than any of us, any one of us.
It's okay. I don't think I'm getting home anytime soon. It's okay. I haven't thought that for a long time. In fact, I've never thought that.
Well, I also know that's going to be hard to get you home,
Yeah.
but it's a worthy trek. Even if they don't want to come with us.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh, the other everybody
Yeah.
else. Oh, I
Andy,
don't.
Finn, and Aaron.
It's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not trying to go home. It's that I. finding a way to get home is going to be very hard. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even really think it's possible. I'm hoping it is, but
What do you mean that it's not possible?
it's really hard to get back.
Not impossible. You know how much we've traveled already?
I do.
I would walk that over and over and over again to get you home.
That's fair, and to be fair, that's probably what we'd have to do, but
Yeah. I doubt the train goes.
there's never been anyone who's ever been to my village before from around here, I don't think, and anyway, I just don't think it's very hard to find. And I've always known that, you know. And so I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I have time. You know, I have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
Did anybody ever leave and come back?
nobody leaves.
Oh.
I mean, it's very easy to get lost out there.
Yeah.
And there are people.
As the bird comes back and lands. Just,
Hello! Oh, wait. Do you have a note?
as he just looks at you.
Okay, fine, I know this game. Fine. I'll reach into my pocket and pull out another ration and break it into half, and then I'll break it in half and then break it up. I'll break up half of it, sort of.
As it goes down and starts eating, you can see a small scroll or like piece of parchment tied to his ankle.
Is it alright if I take that?
Doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you.
Doop. Can I
Right.
take that scroll, please?
Comes right off.
Thank you. What do I get?
It just said there is written good.
Ooh.
Well, that'll work.
Great. 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 I know it'll take a long time. But the fact that I found you and you're alive means that happened for a reason.
I think I'm alive probably because you saved my life, Aiken.
And that happened for a reason, Duafi.
The reason that is because you're a good person who saw someone who needed help.
It's a good enough reason.
It's fair enough. But you know, we'll find out what happens. I don't know.
I don't think any of us do.
No.
I think we're all just kind of going with the flow. By the way, the guards, I think they're guards, I don't know, they're patrolling. They just seem restless, but I think just stay out of eyesight near the water if you can when you go over.
Okay.
Duathi, suddenly you start to feel sharp pressure on your foot. As you look down, the seagull is there, and
Alright, so I think we should probably give
Yeah,
him this
yeah,
food
yeah,
and then
yeah.
go. I'm gonna break off another a quarter ration.
as you break
And-
it off and arm out, it leaps up
Yep.
to swipe it from your hand.
Yep, it's time to go.
Goodbye.
As it flies away with the food, doesn't say anything in response.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think I couldn't understand it anymore, so I think it just wore off.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not supposed to feed gulls, I probably think. It's
Oh,
probably a
that's okay.
nuisance, but they're kind of... Well, the other two were dicks, apparently.
I mean, I think they probably all are. I've never met a seagull before, but you know.
These... I mean, they've only seen them on the trip, so... Well, hey, I'm gonna help you out.
Okay,
Let's get back to the group.
sure.
I think we're gonna get this going, and you won't get caught, and we're not gonna be in trouble. Okay.
I'll double check with the bones too before we go. But I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Too far out now.
Yeah. Well, let's go not commit crimes.
No, definitely not.
And as you all head back towards Bodgan's Forge, the two of you, well, the four of you, finishing up your short rest. That is where we are going to end today's episode.
Next week, hoist.
Thank you all so very much for being here. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We are going to be heading on over to our Discord for a post-show hangout. And really quick note on that post-show hangout, if you are a supporter of the channel, if you are a patron, a member, or a subscriber, you are welcome to join us on over there in the Discord. If you are not a patron of the Adventurers Pack, first off, you can still go to our Discord, but you can't hang out at the post-show. But if you would like to help support the channel, we are here because of you and your generosity. We love making the show, and we couldn't be doing it without you. If you are looking for free ways to support us, you can like our channels, you can follow us on social media. But the most important thing that you can do is tell your friends, introduce us to new folks, build that following. If you are looking for monetary ways to support us, if you are on Twitch, you can subscribe to us there. If you are on YouTube, you can become a member. And if you are anywhere else, you can head on over to our Patreon and become a patron over there. Patrons get some perks to our channel, one of which being the post-show hangout that we are about to have. Thank you all again so very much for being here. We will be back again next week to see how this heist
How this goes.
goes.
This is our first heist, man.
Uh-huh.
We'll see you there. Bye, everyone.